Hello everybody, welcome to Catherine Sews. Thanks so much for joining me today. Today is a beautiful day here where I live and I'm heading out for a nice lunch on a patio. So of course I wanted to wear my white jeans. And last year I loved these white jeans. They were just everything I wanted in a white jean. I liked the high waist, I liked the exposed buttons. I was really happy with these jeans last year. This year I cannot stand them. I'm just so over skinny jeans. So I hate them specifically from here down. Lately I've made a couple videos on revamping your skinny jeans, but they involve putting two pairs of jeans together and having a vertical seam in the front, which I have to say I love. They're my favorite jeans now. So these ones, I just don't have another pair of white jeans. I also just don't need a third pair of jeans with that vertical seam, even though I love them. So I have what I think is a pretty good idea. What I do have is a sleeve from the white denim jacket that I did last video, where I took off the sleeves and made a hoodie jacket out of it. So the sleeves are still in my recycling bin. I haven't gotten rid of them yet. And so I'm gonna take the cuff and kind of work with a trend that I've been seeing a lot with ties at the ankle of a wide-legged pant. So instead of a tie, I'm gonna put the cuff. So are you with? Do you see where I'm going with this? I think that's gonna be pretty nice. So I'm gonna take these jeans off because it's really hot in here too. I'm gonna unpick from the hip all the way down that side seam, and then I'll show you what I'm gonna do. I'm glad you're along for the ride. Let's jump right in. So fantastic, the cuffs are off, and to unpick them quickly, I use the same unpicking method that I did in the denim jacket video, where first you just use your seam ripper to make a small opening, then you put the red ball down in there so you can keep an eye on the blade, and then just push that along, and it comes off really fast. So that was no problem. To open up the side seam of the pants was also no problem. I used the same unpicking method there that I used in my unpicking video because it was just the chain and then a 3-thread serge. And so all you do is find where the chain starts, like you just kind of break a few stitches in the chain, and then you're able to just pull that right across super fast. For the 3-thread serge, you just need to find the needle thread. It's right in between the loops of the serging. And so you just need to get in there, pull out that needle thread, and then just pull the whole needle thread out, and then the rest of the serging just comes out no problem. So that was actually quite quick to unpick all of that. Good. Okay, so the jeans are basically ready to go, and so are the cuffs. So I'm going to cut up these sleeves to see if that'll work. Yeah, I don't really want to get into unpicking these bound seams, so I'm just going to cut them off. So now I'm wondering if this would make a nice bottom edge on the piece that I'm going to insert into the side seam of those pants. I kind of like that detail, but I need it to be longer. So if I just let the pant leg lay flat and just measure how much they spread out, I need the insert to be about 5 inches wide at the bottom and about 30 inches long. Well, I'm almost 5 there. Come up parallel here. I will be tapering this off later. So there's the sleeve cap coming down. Oh, how about this? I might be onto something here. So now if I put this together with the other sleeve cap like that, then I end up with this very interesting curved seam. Okay, so I'm just going to mark this curve onto the other curve, and then rough in some seam allowance, and then put these two back together. So now theoretically I should have 2 pairs that fit together. And yeah, there's got to be an easier way. If I just had some white denim that kind of matched my jeans, this would be much easier. But piecing it together from a sleeve, I'm not going to say I recommend this. And I'm just sewing these curved seams at the edge of my presser foot. And I'm going to just quickly serge those as well. If you don't have a serger, of course, you can go ahead and just zigzag those edges. We'll give that seam a quick press, and all of those pink marks from my friction pen will just come right off. Oh, I love that curved seam. I love it. That's so fun. Okay, this is looking kind of cool. I think I will top stitch this curved seam so that it matches these. So also once on the edge and then once at the presser foot. So I'll just turn around and come back the other way. So now I'm just running the edge of my presser foot along the edge of the seam. So this is the strip that I've constructed then to go inside the side seam of my jeans, just to add that width to the side seam. This is like the opening on the sleeve where the cuff was, right? So this is the original seam on kind of the elbow edge of the sleeve. Now you're probably only going to see a little bit of my curved seam, but I still am pretty excited about that curved seam. It looks good. So now what I'm going to do is take that strip and shove it inside the pants. Even it up at the bottom edge, make it lay smooth here, and just let it fall naturally into like a straight leg. It wants to fall straight. It did not want to be a skinny jean. Look at that. I have to decide about the cuff. I'm loving this look as is. I don't really particularly feel the need to have that cuff in there. What do you think? And I can't decide, honestly. A cuff or no cuff. I'm going to pin this in place and then try them on and make sure that I like it. I have a piece of cardboard that I will just put in that leg. Yeah, that's the trick. So that I can more easily pin these edges. If you're doing this same technique with blue jeans, you could just use, even if it's a different shade of blue, it could just be one strip of fabric, no problem. And a different shade would be just fine. I just tried them on again and had a major breakthrough. I understand now why I wasn't convinced about the cuff, and maybe you thought this too. The cuff is interesting, right? But it's too high, and it creates two focal points. This and this are separate. But this side, I lowered the cuff. The cuff and the slit are now one element, one focal point there. I think I'll go with that. Let me know what you think. Would you have preferred it with no cuff? So now to actually sew this, I'm going to turn them inside out. Careful of all those pins. And re-pin in there. And get in between the outside pins. And then before I can sew it, I'll have to flip back and remove all the other pins from the other side. So it's pinned all on the inside. I'm going to flip it back right side out, and then I can remove the outside pins. The pant legs are inside out and my pins are nestled in there. I'm going to be aiming to sew right in the original sewing line there. So the sewing right now shouldn't be too hard. The strip that I put together here is bigger than I needed. I'll trim the extra away when I'm done. That should do. I'll sew both sides, then try them on one more time and make sure I'm really happy with the fit and how they're hanging. Then if it's all good, then I'll cut off this extra and serge and I'll be done. I can't wait to show you at the end. Okay, so it's all trimmed up. I like to trim with scissors first, just because my serger doesn't love to do all of that cutting. Okay, trim any threads, give it a final press, and we are done. So aren't these just so much better now? I think they're a lot more flattering. To me, it's just much more up to date. I love the visual interest that's added with that angular seam there. I'm really happy with the cuff that I used at the bottom. And I hope you're redoing your skinny jeans instead of just dumping them. It is fun, isn't it, to get creative and reuse what you've already got. Good, so I hope you enjoyed that one. I'm ready to go out and enjoy the sunshine. I hope you had fun with that. Thank you so much for being along for the ride with me. It's really nice to have you on board. If you haven't already, please hit that subscribe button and give me a thumbs up. It really helps me out a lot and I appreciate it. Until next time, you take care.